peel that away, it may not all be just under one category. It may feed into something else. So it's nice to have an outlet
Absolutely.
for those different areas for that
Yeah,
too.
and we can track too, like in our billing. The one I brought, and I'll leave some copies with you guys to if you need them, is just kind of general, but we can divide by department. So if you're covering different departments, we can name them each differently if you want to a line item billing and things like that. So oftentimes we just split by police and fire, but if there's a couple of cities where we cover the whole city or the county and different departments in there, so we can certainly split our billing that way. Unless a department only has like one or two people, then it would be obvious if they're engaging, so we might combine smaller departments together, just so it's easier to track and so that you have some reliability in knowing that people are engaging.
Have anything, Jim?
What do we have in place right now? I mean, I know we have something in place.
We have, you have that.
It's kind of dated, isn't it?
Life Services,
Oh.
there's a copy of the contract in
And
your
that's kind of
packet.
dated, isn't it? Yeah,
Very much so.
when I looked through it,
And like I said, now it's all virtual.
yeah.
And there appears to be a large lag time when employees contact them for services. So it just hasn't been a really good fit for us recently.
And we do
You
try to
work
keep
with that
ours.
police department, correct?
Yeah, we work with your police department now, and we also work with Clinton County EMS just separately on a private contract. And we restrict ourselves to only the agencies that we have contracts with, so we always have space available. Usually, if somebody calls us in the morning, between the four of us, somebody can get them in the same day.
It would be an in-person.
It would be in person, absolutely. Although if people don't want to drive and they want a virtual option, we always have that available. But yeah, we definitely, and we come to them when there's critical incident, so we can come on site and do stuff wherever the employees are. But yeah, we do make an effort because right now the mental health system, as I'm sure you guys are aware, is pretty strained. And it can be 6 months to a year to get a new patient appointment, whereas for us, it's usually the same week. So, and we keep it that way because we don't keep people forever. We keep them short-term, we get them on their feet and doing stuff on their own.
Do you have a set hourly rate, or does it depend on what the appointment?
I do, and I'm going to leave you guys with some of that information so you can kind of go through that. I've got a couple copies of just what an invoice would look like, so you'll know. There's some paperwork here that just talks about the efficacy of having an EAP program, how it decreases employee sick time, things like that. And then in the middle or so, we've got our cost sheet that tells the types of services that we have and each individual cost associated with it. And then I've also included an EAP handout that we usually give employees when we're starting with a new agency that will just tell a little bit about the first responder aspects, and then it has our information and a little blurb about each of us on the back. So I'll just leave these copies for you guys to go through. And then if you have questions after that, let me know.
How many pre-employment screenings do you do for perf, like the perf that?
Yeah, so I've done 16 this month, which is a really not normal month for me. It's normally one or two
Okay.
every month or
Perf is so backed up right now.
It is, yeah, no, and I can get them in usually with a week's notice, and I get the results to you in 1 to 2 days after testing.
Wow, that's amazing.
So I do that again because I only work with my agencies and not outside agencies, so we can control the flow a little bit better.
Do you then help with the whole perf process? I mean, do you?
Yeah, I can do.
All of it, or
So
just?
I do the
MPI, is that
psych
what you're
eval.
doing?
I can do the psych eval, and then the paperwork. There's 2 pieces of paperwork that go with that for perf, and I do those pages, and then they usually just add them into whatever is already being done. So yeah, we use the MMPI 3,
Okay.
and then I also use another test because one test alone is usually not sufficient. So we balance it with a secondary measure. That way, if they fail one and they don't fail the other, they can still pass. But that way, we have some accountability, and we like to see those things stay together.
So currently, the police department, fire department is using public
The
safety,
police is, yep.
yeah. Or just for the psych side, have you used them yet?
They have not sent us any pre-employments
Okay.
at this point, yeah, but we do just the EAP's individual counseling for them.
Do you have anything to say, Scott, since you've used them?
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, anytime.
Me, I mean, I like the idea that they're able to get involved early on in an incident like that, that there's not a time lag in between that. So, I mean, that's the important time between the incident and they have their first eval, so.
And we pay by when we use them. Right now, we're paying, and I forget what it is per employee per month, but yeah, whether we use them or not, yeah. I can't remember. I think Cheryl told me at one time, but.
Yeah, I had that
I
number
didn't- I knew
somewhere,
too,
but
but
I
I
didn't
can't
bring it
remember.
tonight.
Yeah. So if we would decide to go with them, then we would have a contract?
Yeah, so if you want to do that, we'd need a contract and we'd also need to send the termination notice to the current supplier. Yep. And
Correct.
September, but yes. So we can either get a contract from them or I could do an independent,
I have copies I can send. if you wanna
Contractor
follow
agreement.
one of those. Either way is fine with us.
Want her to send you something?
Sure, that'd be fine.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
One set, or two sets, what was that, one set or two sets?
Well, I'm trying to make sure I get
Thank you,
a copy of everything. Thank you.
thank you. So I guess we probably need a motion.
Yes,
yeah.
we should do a motion to
Terminate.
terminate the previous one, and then we should do a motion to use that one pending approval of the contract.
And this would be available to all the departments, not just police and fire.
Do they have a line item for this sort of thing? Does all the
Right
departments?
now, we pay for it out of our insurance line and Board of Works.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm gonna make copies of these.
Okay.
That's okay.
So right now, we're currently with Life Services, is that correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Out of Flemington? Is that what it said?
I believe so.
This is pretty dated. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm looking at
I
all
don't know,
this. I mean,
Do you have the date when that first?
yeah, it looks
Well,
like
it was faxed to us January of 2016, and we had a time finding it. It was
it
old enough
was-
that,
the agreement was signed on 12/18 of 15.
And I will tell you that we have reached out to other facilities or other people, you know, in that, whatever we want to say. And we have not been able to have anybody to help us on critical incidents or that type of thing, because that was really important to us. I don't know, Scott, have you used them yet for a critical incident, just individual? And we just couldn't get anybody to do it because we felt like that was important.
It is important,
For,
yeah.
you know, public safety, in which they say they offer that, so.
Well, I'll make a motion that we terminate the contract that we're currently using with Life Services at this time. Flemington.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay.
Do you want me to send a notice to them, or do you want Carol to do it, or how would you like to proceed?
Is there a certain way that that has to be done? Does it say in the contract?
I believe it has to be written and it has to be 90 days, and I think they have an address. Usually contracts have an address for notices, so it would probably go to that address, but I'd have to double check.
I think it would be a good idea if Alicia instigates that.
And probably any information you get from you or Cheryl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Okay, could I have a motion then?
Sure. I'll make a motion that we entertain partnership with Suncrest Psychological Services for psychological services for the city of Frankfurt, pending receipt of a contract in agreement of that contract.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, that passed. And so we'll get a contract. She's gonna get a hold of you, I think, right? Or were you getting a hold?
She said she was gonna send a contract, whether
Yeah.
she'll send it to me or send it to you, I'm not
Okay.
sure, but if you do get it, just forward it to me and I'll be glad to review it.
Okay. If we can't find everything, Scott's got it, I think. Her contact, I don't have her contacts.
I have her contact
do?
as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was there any other public comments?
No.
Okay. Okay, department reports, Parks Department, Joel Tatum.
Good evening.
Hello.
Tonight, I'd like to start off with a property use agreement for Prairie Creek Park for the use of the annual overdose awareness event on August 29th, 2024. And they would like the fees to be waived to use the park.
This is something they do every year, right?
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we accept the contract for the annual overdose awareness event on August the 29th, 2024, and that the fees be waived.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, that passed.
Right, then the next one is a property use agreement for Shelter One at the TPA Park for Randy West car shows that he does every year to benefit different organizations. He would like to have one on May 25th, June 15th, and August 10th of 2025, and he would like the fee to be waived on that as well.
And with that, he always makes the donation back to, I know he's for the police, for the fire,
I think he does Coach Kids
Coach
too.
Kids,
Yeah.
yes. So he always gives that money back to an organization in Frankfurt.
I'll make a motion that we approve that the fees get waived for the designated times and dates that he wants this. And we sure appreciate what he does every year.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay.
And the last one I have is for the United Way of Clinton County for their kickoff campaign. They would like the use of Prairie Creek Park and Encompass Event Center on September 19th from 3:30 to 8 p.m. And they would like the fees waived as well.
I'll make the motion that we accept the application for the use of Prairie Creek Park for United Way for Clinton County on 9/19 of 2024, and that the fees also be waived.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, got that passed as well.
All right. My next thing is requesting the purchase of a truck from Kelly Chevrolet, which has the state bid for Chevy. It's the same company that Scott uses for his police cars. It's for a 2024 Silverado 2500 at the cost of $49,615, and that would be paid out of CUMCAP Development, which has $50,000 earmarked for a truck.
It does, okay. And that's this year's budget.
Correct.
Okay. And since it's state bid, we're okay, right, Alicia?
Yes, since that's the lowest price, that's fine.
Yep.
And it's under $50,000, so it's fine anyway.
I make a motion that Superintendent Tatum be allowed to purchase this much-needed vehicle for his fleet. And the price of this and what he's getting is pretty good value.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay. Is that in stock?
It is in stock, so we should
Alright.
have it before too long.
Okay, good.
The next thing is, during our budget meetings, the council was gracious enough to say that I could use the rest of the ARPA funds to cover some cost of improvements that were in my budget for next year. So one of those was the roof on the Red Barn at TPA. And so I have a quote from Tornado Roofing, who I would like to use because they've done all the other roofs in the park earlier this year. And that quote is for $9,636.33.
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid from Tornado Roofing for re-roofing the Red Barn at the city park for the amount of $9,636.33.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Okay.
And my last thing, so as you know, the drains in the concession stand at TPA were completely plugged with grease from a previous tenant and could not be cleaned out. So we had to bust everything out and redo all the floor drains and everything. So we have concrete to be fixed. So I got 3 bids because I've never done concrete before. And I would like to go with the lowest bid, which is Rosillo's Concrete for $4,600. And that would take care of the concrete that we've had to bust out on the outside of the building as well as the concrete on the inside floor.
There's quite a difference in these bids.
There is.
Exactly, it is exactly the same thing.
They all got told the exact same thing as Greg and I were discussing before the meeting. They all bid something a little different. The quote that you get the most of is the lowest quote. And it shows that they're doing the most work.
Well, I'll make a motion that we go with the lowest bid of $4,600 to, is it Rosillo's
Yes.
Concrete LLC for all the work that you need done out there, and it's a shame that you had to bust all that up.
It is.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
And then just to give you a little update, the splash pad was closed down on yesterday due to a mechanical failure in the feature pump. So we had to purchase a new pump. It is here now. It is being installed as we speak. So hopefully they can get it done tonight. If they don't get it done tonight, then hopefully it will be finished tomorrow. So then we will have it back on so that the public can use it on the hottest day of the year.
Thank you for working diligently to get this taken care of.
You're welcome.
Because I know how it is to try to get, how we've had in the past, trying to get everything that we need to repair these things.
Yes.
It doesn't usually happen this
It
quickly.
doesn't usually happen this
I
way.
was
You are
shocked when you told me
correct.
you could get one that quickly. I'm like, yes, let's get
As soon
it.
as we found out we could get one quickly, that there was one in Indy, we started driving to Indy to pick it up.
Yeah.
So that's all I have. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Sounds good, thank you. Do you want to do Jason?
Whatever order you choose.
Jason?
Can I butt in, Mayor?
You can.
Sorry, I'm not on the agenda, sir.
That's all right. You're always on our agenda. You're on our watch.
That's good. That's good.
We're on a list.
On your list. Sorry I didn't get these on the agenda, but the first thing I wanted to go over is I'm losing an employee. Last day is September the 3rd. And I've been in the process with Cheryl and Carol trying to get a person hired. We have an individual that used to work at the street department, would like to come back, that already has his CDL. So far we got the background check back and we're waiting on the drug screen. He's taken the drug screen, but I don't think we've received the results yet. But pending the results, I would like to hire this individual back to the street department when those tests come back negative.
What position is,
Just be a general labor,
okay?
full-time.
And do you have his name?
Yep, Jordan Campbell.
Hopefully that'll help you in getting ready for all
Well, it'd
the
be-
fall process.
It's so nice to be able to, you don't have to worry about the CDL and everything like that. And I know he's excited to come back.
Great.
I'll make a motion that pending all the proper exams and testing, that you get to hire Jordan Campbell back to the street department.
I'll second the motion.
Appreciate it.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay.
And then one last thing, I have a support letter here. I'd be interested in having the Board of Works and the mayor sign for me. Been working on a SS4A Safe Streets for All grant that is due the 29th of August. Everything's all done. We've gotten support letters from the police department, from the community schools of Frankfurt, just to name a few. And we'd like one from the Board of Works. This is a $300,000 grant, 80/20 grant through, which will assist us. And it's for a safety plan, that the city's never had a safety plan. And what this does, it enables us to copy and paste this safety plan to future federally funded projects that are much higher in cost. Recently, we done Mash Road, which was about 6.8 million. We're just looking for something a robust plan to push us over the top. Not every community has it, and we found out about it, and Kimberly and I have been working on it, and we just like to have your guys' support with this, and your signature on this paper I have here with me, and I can download it tomorrow, and we can get it submitted, so.
Okay, good work.
Yeah, is that all departments, I mean, can cooperate on that for this safety plan to get
Yeah.
police and fire and everybody just to
Yep.
get input into that? Great, yeah.
Yeah, it's and what I've heard anyway, which is surprising that other communities haven't, and whether it's financial reasons or what, but I've heard that that there's a good chance that we'll be able to obtain those funds, and so that's pretty exciting for our community, and to be able to copy and paste it for years to come, not just one project and done. I mean, because we're looking at Kelly Road, we're looking at, we mentioned Williams, we've mentioned Barner Street, some other long stretches of road for these big 80/20 match grants would be significant for the city. So,
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the signing of a letter by the mayor and the Board of Works in support of a grant. The safety program is presented by Superintendent Jason tonight for the street department.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay.
thanks for letting me get those things in. I appreciate it. And I'll
That it?
pick that up at the end of the meeting, and we'll get her downloaded.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. Okay, next, under HR, do you want me to talk about that, or?
I can, or you can, whichever you
make any
choose.
difference.
There's a job description change before you for the senior building inspector. On the final page, top paragraph, the change is should be highlighted on your copy. It states that this position currently has or must be able to obtain ICC International Code Council Residential Building Inspector certification or equivalent certification as a building inspector within 6 months of employment. I believe previously that referenced commercial rather than residential. So we changed that to make it fit our needs.
Yeah, that was the only change, was just that, from commercial to residential.
I'll make a motion that we accept the senior building inspector's position title and requirements as noted, with the change to be residential building inspector certification and the commercial taken out.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, does any other department have anything? Scott, Matt, Dawn? Nobody? He's quiet tonight. This is your chance. Okay. Next, we'll go on to unfinished business. And I wanted to talk tonight about the former police station, and I believe you brought some legal aspect of that.
So depending on what you want to do with it, I've got the statute. You were talking about a nonprofit.
Yes.
So if you want to transfer it to a nonprofit corporation, you can do that for no compensation or for a nominal fee, as long as the nonprofit corporation is created for agricultural, educational, or recreational purposes, and those are pretty broad, so that pretty much covers most everything. That's pretty much all we would need to do is just determine that we wanted to do that, and then we would do a resolution to that effect, and then we could do a deed to transfer it. And it would probably need to go before the city council just because we are getting rid of an asset of the city, but we could do that if we wanted to.
So would it be Board of Works and the council that would have to give an approval?
Generally, it would just need to be the council, but if the Board of Works approves of it too, that's not an issue. So we can do a resolution for both, or we can do just a resolution for the city council.
I'd like to have that brought before the council at the next meeting, September 9th, but
So just a transfer, just a straight transfer of property to them?
I
Is
think
there,
the only thing that the council, some of the council members had asked me is just with a clawback that says that if they decide it's not gonna work for their purpose or whatever,
Yeah.
that we get first.
Yeah, so what we can do is we can put that in the deed, or we can do like an agreement that basically says that if they don't end up using it for the purposes that are, initially intended, or whatever the city decides that they want to do, we can have them sign an agreement saying that they will give it back to the city,
okay.
assuming that you would want to take it back at that point. So, but yep. So it's a pretty simple process if we're donating it to a nonprofit.
Now, if we do not do that to a nonprofit, there's a process for that as well,
Yes.
correct?
So if you end up deciding that you want to sell it, generally speaking, what you would have to do is you would have to put it out for a public bid for a period of time. And then if you got bids that were of a sufficient value, you could sell it to the highest bidder. If you didn't get bids of a sufficient value, then at that point you could get a realtor to list it and then try to have a broker list it and sell it that way. Or you could do like a public auction and auction it off. For that, you can do a reserve price, so you can put in your bid documentation what that price, the minimum price that you would accept would be. And then you just advertise that in the newspaper for the period of time that the bids would be open. They have to be open for a period of 60 days. And then once that 60-day period is up, we would open whatever bids. If there was one that met the value that was put on it, then it could be transferred and sold through the normal sale process. At that point, go to a closing and have a title commitment, all of that good stuff. If we didn't get enough bids, then at that point you could list it with a realtor.
Do you have any questions on that, or?
Be nice to see it being used.
Yeah, it needs to
Yeah.
be,
We're still paying
Hands of
utilities,
someone
right,
is-
every
yeah.
month on
yeah.
that?
If you did decide to sell it, you would have to get 2 appraisals, and you could not sell it for less than those the average of those 2 appraisals. So that would kind of be what your minimum bid would have to be.
Do we have interest in that building now?
I have a couple of people that are interested. One of them's a not-for-profit, the other one would be a business that,
Would it be beneficial for us to look at or to have them prepare what the use of the building would be prior to handing it over to them or putting it up for sale to see if it's the direction that we would like to see that go? And would that keep, if there's any alterations to the building that may not be, I guess, applicable for who may use it next, if we would have some kind of guideline to set up for what changes could or possibly be done or not done to that building?
So if you wanted to get like a proposal from folks to kind of see what their plan for the building would be, you can definitely do that. As far as putting restrictions on how they can change the building in the future, if we were to give it to a nonprofit, that would be something that I would include in that agreement with them. You could put language in the deed, but that makes it a little bit complicated if there's ever something that they would have to say tear it down or something, you know what I mean? A tornado comes through and it needs that makes it a little bit more complicated if you do it in the agreement, then that gives you the possibility of amending that, whereas it's not a recorded document. But you can set up some limitations. If somebody buys it, you're probably not going to be able to do as much with that because, you know, who's going to want to buy it if they can't do with it whatever they want to do. It would need to follow all of our standards that we've got in our zoning code, our historic standards, all of those things. So that would not change regardless of who owned it. So that would give them some guidelines on what they could do. But as far as the interior goes, if they bought it, they would pretty much be able to. We could try to put some limitations on it, but again, who's going to buy it if they can't do with it what they want? So,
Don,
okay. Okay, so it's not within the historic district? Okay. So they would just have to follow the zoning code then and general building standards unless we put something on there to keep that in place.
what's it zoned on?
It's zone central business.
Okay.
Just trying to keep everybody updated on where we're going. I'm really hoping that we get something worked out here because I don't want it to sit again
Right.
for another winter. We don't need
No.
that, so hoping that we can get that taken care of. Okay. No other questions? Okay, we've already talked under new business with Suncrest. Approval of the Frankfurt High School Homecoming Parade. Who's going to talk to us about that? Jason?
Jason? Jason, you don't have your glasses on, so I don't know if you can see this, but this is the letter that
Do
the
you need my
school
glasses?
sent.
Plain sheet of paper.
I would like to get approval for the high school homecoming parade on September 27th, originate near Gilman's. I think it's the same route as it's been for many, many years. Out to the high school on Washington Street to Main to Clinton, out to Mash Road. Starts at 5:30 p.m.
Chief Shoemaker, you all over this? I'm all over it. I know you are. I make a motion that we approve the annual homecoming parade, September 27th, 2024, for the Frankfurt High School. Let's go hot dogs.
Yes.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, who is going to has anybody talked with anyone from the high school? We'll have the Capitals talk to them. Okay, I think there's a name on that letter. I don't remember who. Who did?
Carol did.
I think Andy
Andrea did.
sent that to
Andrea
you.
Yeah.
It was Andrea. Mayor, do you want me to bring up the downtown thing that Carl called me about the other day that we talked about?
I mean, if you want to, because is there anything?
I'll just
that-
get approval with the stipulations that,
Yeah, yeah, we can talk about that.
is it trunk or treat, that was called, Carl? Carl called me the other day and the CNR Catering, sorry, does a trunk or treat down on Main Street. And last year there was a little bit of issues here and there with some businesses down there, but what my thoughts were is, and I called Loretta Pearson at the bank, and she's going to check tomorrow to see about having Visiting Angels park in the bank parking lot from like 3 to 5 on Halloween night. That was where some of the friction was, I guess. So have them park 3 to 5. That way they could close the road down at, I believe, 4 o'clock is what Carl wanted to do. I think that's run by the Fund Group possibly too. So if I get the information from Larita that they're good with it, then I'll touch base with Visiting Angels, and I'm sure they're right there. I'm sure they won't have any problem parking in the bank for a couple hours to allow them to open up at 4 versus 5, or shut it down, I guess, from,
From the drive to Clinton Street, correct?
right.
Both sides of the road.
And the other thing I brought up to the mayor this morning was, Carl had requested after the bank, and I can never remember what bank it is, where Citizens used to be, the drive-through kind of runs from that alleyway. After the bank closes, they wanted to see if they could extend it a little bit further past once the drive-through closes on Halloween night, to be able to go a little further towards Walnut. So, but I will keep you guys posted, but thought tonight we at least get an approval pending all that, and I don't think there'll be an issue with it, but
Are there other things going on downtown that night? Or are you guys, I mean, this is the actual Halloween night, right? Okay.
is there anything else going on in town, like doing a candy pass out or anything downtown or anything? I mean,
Yeah, I haven't either. That's the reason why I wondered. I think last year this was really successful, though. Had a little contest and,
just a couple phone calls, but I wouldn't see why Visiting Angels would mind. I mean, it's just right around the corner from their business.
I think if we have an alternative place for them to park, that's the big thing, so.
Right.
Do we want to go ahead and approval on that, or?
Sure. Make a motion that we approve the closing of North Main Street on Halloween night from Clinton to Walnut, pending any changes that come up from parking situations or any disapproval from local merchants.
I'll email you guys and let you know if
Okay.
there's anything.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next, it's not on the agenda, but I wanted to bring it up, yeah.
Chief Shoemaker would like to add something.
Oh, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. It's not on here, but we'll just do it, right?
October 31st, 5 PM to 9 PM, please.
Is that on the, I didn't see, oh, that,
Well, I just thought about it. Carol reminded me that it's Halloween. She's good at reminding me of
thank you,
stuff.
Carol, for reminding Chief Shoemaker for,
5 to 9,
5 to 9 would be sufficient, I think, even,
that's pretty much what we do, isn't it?
yeah.
I'll make a motion that we take the recommendation of Chief Shoemaker.
Carol.
I'll second.
She needs a smile.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, Chief Shoemaker. Okay, next, I'd like to ratify a new hire for our Building Services Department for Building Inspector. I have an offer of employment for Robert Bogue, and we need to approve that, ratify it.
He's
Agreed.
I'll make a motion that we hire him in this position. He's been a longtime city worker, dedicated worker to the city of Frankfort, and he wants to continue doing that in another role.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, that's been approved. Next, we have the aquatic, for the pool agreement with Aquatic Management of Indianapolis. Did you get an opportunity to see that? I forget what the increase was. It was a pretty minimal increase for next year. Plus, we put in there $55, I believe it's a week for doing the splash pad. So that's very beneficial to us. We're not having one of our employees up there. They don't have to run it someplace to get it tested. They just take it when they take the pool testing, so.
I'll make a motion that we do the contract with Aquatic Management of Indianapolis for our swimming pool management.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Carol, do you want us to take care of that, or,
To get it signed.
yeah, or if you, however you want to do it?
I can do that.
Are you sure? Okay, if not, ask Andrea, I'm sure she'd be
Okay.
happy to do it too.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have anything else? Alicia? You have nothing? Okay, I'll take the motion.
I'll make the motion. We adjourn.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here this evening.